there is an event coming up, and it's not in this community, but it affects our community. It affects everyone in our community. And we do have a community member here that I want to talk about. This event is called the 4th Annual White Party. And you may remember a couple months ago, we went to the Legacy Center and we met Kim Britt. This is Shelley Burton. And it was for a KIDSgala event. That gives me the chills when I'm thinking about it. So let me introduce my guests properly. Shelley Burton and Kim Britt, both with the KIDSgala Foundation. I say that wrong every time. And it started with your daughter. So let's talk a little bit about this. You are an Oxford resident, and I'm really proud to have you here.
Thank you.
But let's talk about your daughter.
Nicole was a spitting image of myself. Very jovial, very fun-loving, energetic, wasn't afraid to do anything. We were out playing on the swings one day just shortly after her 4th birthday, I'm sorry, and she started to randomly vomit. No, I got a headache, out of nowhere. So this went on for a couple weeks, back and forth to the doctors we went, different testing, nothing came up. We thought maybe because I was headed to OU for nursing school that it was separation anxiety.
Sure. Of course.
So we both had matching.
How old at this
she was
time?
4.
Okay.
So we both had matching Dora backpacks. She was going to go to the Lowry Center at OU. That was Mama's building over there. You know, we're right by each other. Nothing worked. In the middle of the night, one night, Nicole sat up and screamed, my head, deep inside my head. At that point, I turned around and said to my husband, something's wrong. So down to St. Joe's in Pontiac we went, where they kept us for observation. 24 hours, her blood results were never the same. They kept changing. So we had just caught her leukemia diagnosis in the beginning. We went from there down to Children's Hospital where they kept us. Having a medical background myself, I kind of knew what they were talking about, but was covering for my husband, sheltering him.
Well, and besides that, you're trying to intake all this information.
Yes, I mean, they're saying oncologists and this and, you know. Well, they fed her the next morning, so they sent us home because they couldn't do her bone marrow biopsy. So back down on September 11th of 2008, we did a bone marrow biopsy, and Nicole was diagnosed with acute lymphoblastic leukemia.
Wow.
Yes. 5.5 years, oh my word, you would not, I couldn't even describe how it changed. My husband was the playmate. Sorry.
It's okay.
I was the nurse. I was the one that took care of her.
And what an honor for you.
Yes. I wouldn't change any of it.
Yeah, right. Of course.
Unfortunately, after 5.5 years of treatment, a bone marrow transplant, Nicole rejected the bone marrow transplant, and we were out of options. Without Nicole knowing, we came back in the room after the doctors had talked to me, because my husband was still out of town, and said her leukemia is back. The next step would be a very harsh chemo and putting her in the ICU with tubes, and we didn't want that. We came back into the room to sit and talk to Nicole, and she literally looked at me and said, if my cancer's back, Mama, I want to go home.
The wisdom of a child that's been through way more than we will
So home we went.
What a strength, what strength she had, and really strong for you to do this.
Yes.
That's not easy.
So in the process of her leukemia, my great dear friend David McKnight, who I've known since junior high, heard that she was sick, and you know, we got to do something for these kids. We got to do something, you know, these life-altering illnesses and situations. Well, at the time, he thought a life-altering situation was a child breaking their leg and not being able to swim all summer.
Which could be to most children, but yours
Exactly. So I told him, I think you need to come down to clinic to Children's Hospital with me.
See what she's going.
Yep. So I took David down there with me, and his first words when we got in the waiting room were, all these kids have cancer. I said, yeah. So from that minute on, it changed him. I mean, he just has done everything and anything, as well as the board members, to make sure that this foundation, in honor and in memory of my daughter, continues to make people happy.
Which is amazing to me the more I read about the foundation. I cry every time I go.
She's got me started.
None of us realize these babies just want one normal day.
Right.
And these families want one normal day. it never occurred to me. You know, we have so much compassion for what you all are going through that we don't focus on that. Geez, we just want to wake up in the morning and not think about this for a minute. And think about something fun. So let's talk about the Kids Gala. You are a board member.
I am a board member.
So it was created before Nicole passed or after Nicole
Before.
passed? She had a party, right?
Her party was supposed to be the first one. It was going to be the kickoff. We were going to be, you know, this is what it is. And unfortunately, it turned into her wake.
Oh.
She couldn't wait for us.
It wasn't meant for her.
No, and it was an over the top. It was an over, I mean, it was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. It was her.
So let's talk about these galas. What does it take? What's the purpose? Who benefits from this?
Right.
And how does it happen? I guess I just asked you a lot of questions.
And I'll try to sort through all of those. Well, to start out, we do have criteria, and it's listed on our website at KIDSgala.org. And the child needs to be between the ages of 3 and 16 years old. They have to have gone through a life-altering event. And as we just spoke about cancer, many families think automatically that only impacts a child with cancer or some other medical illness, and that is not true. There are children that go through emotional traumas, as we just had a celebration for Sophia out here in Oxford at Urban Air Trampoline Park, and she had emotional trauma. She had lost her father before she was 3 years old, so she had delayed grieving. She had lost a grandmother. She had lost an aunt to suicide. She was having tremendous separation anxiety, and then her mother had recently battled breast cancer. And so it's in our mission statement, it is a life-altering event.
Right, and that's certainly all that disrupts any normal living pattern. And she came alive that night.
That was such an impactful night for her. And the mother has reached out to me a couple times since, just cannot thank us enough, that she sees a difference in her daughter, Sophia.
We
just
talked
because
about
of that celebration and feeling the love in the room from her family, her friends, and the community. In the community, that's what we want these children to feel too.
Right, and it does take a community. It's like a village, which leads me to this event that's coming up that's so important to these children and to you as board members and volunteers. And that is this will be our 4th annual White Party event, and we don't want to scare anyone with the word white party. It is a requirement to wear all white, but it is not necessarily fancy. You can wear white shorts, you can wear white capris, such as I actually wore these before to the white party. You can wear a white cocktail dress. Men come in white t-shirts, like a nice V-neck t-shirt.
Golf shirts.
So really anything goes as long as it's all white.
And the purpose of the white?
The white is to make it more of a pure event, that we're all coming together, we're all similar.
That's beautiful, really.
It is. It is very impactful when you look around the room and everyone is
I'm
in white.
envisioning that right now, thinking of how pretty that must be, especially with what you all do with decorations. Some of the parties that the kids have had, and I encourage everybody to go to that website, kidsgala.org. It's really fun to see the pictures and what you have done for the children. Now, if people want to be involved in this, if they want to volunteer, if they want to do donations, and then we'll talk about where it's at and when, but how do they do that?
All through the website, kidsgala.org. Very simple you can apply a child for a gifted celebration. There's a message box for a volunteer. You can purchase your tickets for the white party, very simple. All at kidsgala.org.
That's such a fantastic organization. I just can't say enough about it. Just because I saw what it did for Sophia, and just being involved in it that night, and to see the volunteers walk around in tears. Because you're doing so much for the children. So the white party is
June 16th at the Townsend, and it's from 7 p.m. till midnight. And there will be food stations, dinner, dancing. There is silent auction, live auction.
So do you need people to also donate to the auctions? Or is that part of the donations? How does
We
that work?
have, actually, we've just completed that process, so
Oh,
we have
good.
plenty
You got
of
everything you need.
donations. We do.
good.
But definitely we'll be looking for sponsorships and donations
Okay.
for next year, the 5th annual
I hope we can
White
help.
Party.
Good. Well, thank you both for joining us, and thank
Thank
you
you.
for your story.
Thank you.
It touches my heart that Nicole is still active with us,
Yes.
and she's helping other children.
And
it
that's what
just-
means it to us.
Yes.
I mean, that's what takes us and keeps Nicole alive for us.
Yep. Oh yeah. Yeah.
So-
And it keeps you going past that 3rd year.
He does, yes.
And everything. It gives you something to focus on, and all parents that have been through.
Yes, you
what
can
you've
do
been
it.
through.
You can do it. I mean, it's hard, and you have to you have to have good support from your friends and your family, but there's good days and bad moments.
Sure.
And
this
these
is
parties
good
help.
support, yeah.
Yes, and these parties bring the good.
Yes.
They bring the good.
Well, thank you. Thank you for
Thank
joining
you.
us. And
Thank you, too.
go to
Thank you.
that website. Darn, don't miss it. It's really a neat event, and it does your heart really good.
Thank you.
you
Thank
for
you.
joining us.